Its conflict-ridden history, which has global ramifications, makes it a special case in national development. Human poverty is a multidimensional problem. It includes inequality in social services, health, education, and nutrition status, weak social protection system, human displacement, gender inequalities, and political marginalization. Children, women, disabled persons, internally displaced persons are the primary victims of conflict. Afghanistan faces an immense challenge in the construction of its national education system, starting from a situation of destruction of infrastructure, loss of human resources, isolation from the international community, and enormous gap in knowledge and technology. Thousands of communities have no easy access to schools, and half of the school-age children are out of school. Insecurity is still a serious threat to the delivery of education in several regions. Although more than 3,500 school buildings have been constructed, only 25% of schools have usable buildings. In addition, nearly 8% of schools have been burned or closed down due to terrorism in the last few years. However, education is the key enabler of development and human security, contributing to improved health, good governance, sustainable livelihood, and economic growth. The Afghan education system has been undermined by over 3 decades of war, by widespread physical destruction, by restructuring under a communist regime, and by its use as a political and religious pawn by succeeding governments. Most of the vocational technical facilities have been damaged or destroyed. A large number of qualified teachers fled the country, took jobs outside of education, or have been killed. The curriculum has not been revised for 30 years. Most teachers and administrators have not been paid for more than 6 months, and salary levels are set well below a living wage. In the first years of invasion, despite an almost total lack of resources, 5 million Afghan students registered for classes. There was an atmosphere of excitement, expectation, and determination in schools throughout the country. Students and teachers were congregated in schools weeks before they opened, helping with repairs and feeding on the excitement of being able to resurrect them. Parents were eager to return their children to school. Afghanistan has the highest proportion of school-age children in the world. About 1 in every 5 Afghans is a school-age child. Despite the great success of the Back to School campaign, half of the school-age children are still out of school. Afghanistan's adult literacy rate ranks among the lowest in the world. Only 23.5% of the population aged 15 and older is able to read and write. An estimated 12.6% of women are literate, compared with 32.4% of men. Schools are very important for our country. Schools provide children with childhood. Schools do more than each basic skills. It provides a community focus. Early childhood education is crucial for early childhood health and development. And early education is crucial for long-term health outcomes. In terms of gender inequality, stories abound of the systematic discrimination against women and girls in Afghanistan. Particularly during the years of Taliban rule. The disparity between males and females starts early in life, in primary school, and continues in secondary and higher education. In terms of child mortality, 1 out of every 5 Afghan children dies before the age of 5. Most deaths among children under 5 years of age result from vaccine-preventable disease. Diarrhea and acute respiratory infections, which together accounts for nearly 60% of deaths. Neonatal deaths account for over 1/3 of all deaths in children under the age of 5. Not enough attention is paid to reducing these deaths. Afghanistan is among 10 countries with the highest neonatal mortality rate. In terms of child labor, more than 15 million people are under the age of 18. UNICEF estimates that up to 30% of primary school age children are working, and they are often the sole source of income for their families. As a result of Soviet invasion, civil war, Taliban regime, and the US invasion, thousands of Afghan men have been killed or handicapped. So children became the breadwinners for their families. Children in Afghanistan work in brick factories as street vendors, shopkeepers,